Good morning. It's Saturday morning, a little before 7:30, and we're going to get underway shortly to go from Madaket Harbor here on the western end of Nantucket with the goal of reaching Edgartown on the east side of Marthas Vineyard today. But before we get underway, we have an equipment issue to deal with. And actually it's a second issue with this category of equipment, which is the autopilot. Or maybe tiller pilot is a more accurate term. So the tiller pilot is very critical to me anyway. I don't like to spend all my time just manning the tiller. And it's so important that we have two of them. I have had one go bad and needed, almost new, needed to send it back. Had some kind of electronic issue, but it's worked through 2 seasons until now. And yesterday, one of them, well, the rod that goes in and out will no longer do that. It just makes funny noises. So, we had the spare, so that was, I didn't even comment on that issue. But now we have a second issue that has to do with the mounting point for the tiller pilot. So this is a short piece of tubing that to support it, I epoxied a block of wood underneath the fiberglass, because the fiberglass is 1/8 of an inch or less in thickness here. And this rod on the back underside of the tiller pilot goes in there and allows it to pivot left and right and kind of up and down, so that the other end can attach to the tiller. And, well, I can't really show you here, but that block of wood has become loose somehow. Hold on a sec. Okay, so with that block of wood somewhat loose, well, things move around, and that's probably just going to get worse. So, after scratching my head overnight, I've come up with something I think will help stabilize it in any event, so that hopefully it won't get worse. And that involves a piece of rope, and that fortunately placed cleat. Okay, so with the rope clove hitched to the top of the tiller pilot's post, and then pulled with as much tension as I could muster to this cleat, the things are much more stable. I'm attempting to wiggle this, and it doesn't seem to move hardly at all. So we're going to hope that will keep things stable enough that the arrangement will last through the rest of the trip. We do seem to be having our share of equipment problems on this outing. It's about 9:15, and we're out in Nantucket Sound under sail and making 3.5 knots and a 10 to 15 knot breeze, I would guess. Seas are pretty much flat, so everything's going well. The tiller pilot repair seems to be being effective. It's not wobbling, so that's good. So it must be time for the chart. So we're on a new chart here, and this is Madaket Harbor. We spent the night up in this northern tip and made our way back out this channel, out to a place where there used to be a buoy, but there's no buoy there anymore. And we're headed west-northwest, basically, and we're almost at this waypoint where we're going to make a slight course correction and continue past this little island, which looks interesting, and continue over towards Martha's Vineyard. And then there's a channel up the east coast of Martha's Vineyard, runs pretty much north and south. So we're going to go up, and we probably won't actually go all the way to this buoy. We'll make our way around the north tip, Cape Pogue here on Chappaquiddick Island, and eventually down into Edgartown Harbor, where we should get good protection from the southwest winds predicted tonight. See how crazy and crowded that is on a weekend. Tomorrow, the plan is to go up this way and back through that place, Woods Hole, thank you, to Hadley Harbor for our last night of the trip. But so this should all be very pleasant if current trends continue. It's about 10 minutes of 12, and we have arrived at our turning waypoint off the eastern coast of Martha's Vineyard. So I'll start by showing you the chart again. So we came up this line. There's a buoy here, part of a channel that runs up the east coast of Cape Cod, not Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, and I've got a line drawn that goes up to a buoy up here, but we're actually going to take a line to the left of that up off of Cape Pogue here. We'll keep a reasonable distance off there, but no reason to take the long way around. So that puts the wind pretty close to behind us, which is a problem. So ordinarily this would be a perfect opportunity to put the whisker pole to use, but of course I can't do that. I did wait till I made the turn to determine that indeed the jib was going to be blanketed by the main. And what I decided to do is something I haven't done before, which is furl the main and run with just the Genoa. You know, on the previous tack we were doing 3 to 3.5 knots, and we're currently doing about a knot less than that. You know, but that's okay. It's early in the day. We're doing very well to get to our destination, so it's not an issue. We'll continue on, and it's just about time for lunch. So I have continued my habit of having a sandwich for lunch. This one happens to be roast beef. And since you can never be sure what conditions are going to be at lunchtime, I try to remember, and I'm getting better at it, to make the sandwich before I pull up the anchor in the morning. It's 10 after 1, and we've just made our turn to go around Cape Cod and begin our entrance into Edgartown Harbor. We'll take another quick look at the map. So we're on this line just north of Cape Cod, and we're going to come down to this buoy. And then I'm sure we wouldn't be able to make this line, so I don't know. Well, we'll probably motor because it'll probably be busy in there. What with this being a popular destination and it being Saturday. It's about 2:30 and we are anchored in Edgartown Harbor. And as I suspected, it's a pretty busy hopping place. Let's take a look. Out in the outer harbor, there's a mega yacht and a bunch of sailboats flitting about, apparently having some kind of sailboat race. And oh look, there's another mega yacht on its way in. Ooh. And some smaller yachts, and over there is the town itself someplace behind all those boats. So that's where the anchorage is. There's moorings inside, I think. And I've just chosen to anchor a little further away from everybody, as usual. And I'm a little bit in the lee of this shore. And on the chart, that puts me, right down in here. Oh look, it's 3 o'clock. If you've ever wondered how I spend my time here on Silver Heels when I'm not either sailing or sleeping, the answer is I spend most of it right here like this. So I've got the small back cushion down here on the fold down seat. I've got a pair of seat cushions behind my back, and this is the most comfortable place to sit on the boat. I might spend more time sitting in the cockpit, which is not uncomfortable, but usually the sun is an issue, because when I'm here, I spend a lot of the time using my iPad or my iPhone or my Kindle, and direct sunlight can be an issue, and this is more commonly shaded, especially if I rig one of my beach towel sunscreens, which I don't need at the moment because the sun is still high enough in the sky. So, and you might think, well, you got the great outdoors, and you've cooped yourself up in your little cabin, and well, I have, but I spent all day out in the great outdoors, so I don't necessarily feel the need to maximize my exposure. So this is my captain's chair. Tonight for dinner we have one of those meals that came from home frozen. This is pasta and sausage, and I'm sure there's lots of other stuff in there as well, but those are the main ingredients. I was thinking of having a salad with it, but there's an awful lot of this, and I'm not that hungry, so this will do.